Namaste, welcome to Buddha's teaching. Today's topic, the Five Precepts. I'm sure most of you who have heard of Buddhism, who have followed Buddhism, have heard of the Five Precepts and have good ideas of what they are. So that's what we are gonna talk about today, to get into it a little bit in details. As in Buddhism, in the Tripitaka, one of the canon, one of the three is the rules or the Vinaya, right? And the rules that apply to the monks, okay, apply to the monks. The monks have 10 precepts, okay, but for lay people, for lay Buddhists, the Buddha suggests 5 precepts. Okay, so for lay people like us, we get to take half of what the monks are supposed to do, okay, supposed to follow. So the 5 precepts, in a way, is similar to there are things like that in other religions or faiths also, and it's also similar to in the 10 commandments, believe it or not, right? So many people, I'm sure, we have heard of it. For most of us, it sounds fairly easy. It sounds fairly simple, kind of. It's nothing big deal. Sounds like straightforward, right? But how many of us are able to follow the 5 precepts? Okay, if we look into it deeper, we find out that not many of us can follow the 5 precepts. So, as a reminder, so what are the 5 precepts, right? The 5 precepts, number one is do not kill. Okay, so the do not kill is in other faiths or religions, they also say the same thing: do not kill, thou shalt not kill, right? So that is precept number one. Precept number two, do not steal, right? Do not steal. Okay, don't have to be any more detail about that. Stealing is not good. So do not steal is number two. Number three is do not lie. Okay. Well, lying is not good, right? Even our parents have told us not to lie. That is, straight and simple. Number four, do not commit adultery. Okay, and as we all know, cheating is not good. It most of the time leads the marriage into breakups and into divorce. And number five, do not practice do not take any addictive substances such as alcohol, okay, beer, wine, or drugs that make you addictive and make you lose your mind. So those are the 5 precepts that the Buddha had laid out for lay people like us to follow. Now, they are simple, right? They sound very simple, very straightforward. So let's investigate a little bit into those precepts and see how we are doing with those precepts. Okay, for a lot of people who have heard about this, they don't they, they don't think much of it. They don't think it's a big deal. Okay, it's or some people just say, whatever. Okay, because it's like they it's something that they sort of agree to them. that those are not the right thing or the good thing to do, right? Or at least 3 or 4 of those precepts, they know that it's not a good thing to do. Okay, so these were like whatever, right? Yeah. So that's the attitude toward those for most of the people. So as we look into that, all right, let's look into that a little bit deeper. Now, precept number 1: do not kill. As we know, killing is not good, right? If we and this is something that as we all know, we are human, right? A human learn by copying each other since childbirth, right? We learn everything by copying from what we experience, right? And a lot for babies, they learn a lot from the parents. Okay, so they copy from the parents, and as they become a little bit older, 1 year old, 6 months up and stuff, they start to imitate sounds that they hear from, let's say, from TV, okay, cartoons, or from brothers and sisters. Okay, so they practice, they develop their vocal cord to utter the same kind of sound, to make the same kind of verbal the words communication. So everything. So for us as human being, we learn by copying. Okay, and we learn when we are small, since we are small, right? There's a saying in my language, or maybe in other language also in Asia, that they say, if you want to make a shape or bend the uh, bamboo, okay, you bend the tree or the bamboo when they are young, when they are still bendable, right? Then when they are still soft, you can bend the bamboo the way, if you have seen the lucky bamboo that they sell in the market, you can bend them, or any trees, any flowers that you see in the nursery, they twist them around, where while their twigs and their body is still soft and still manageable, and you can bend them, right? You can make them whatever the way you want, whichever way you want, when they are still young. Once when they grow older and they solidify the shape, the form, you cannot undo it. Okay, it's once it becomes a tree, it become hard, like it becomes wood. You cannot undo the shape of the bamboo or of the flowers that we make them. So again, it's the same thing. It's applied to us human being. um, Young age is very important. Okay, uh, we shape uh, the mind when uh, human being still kids, when they are still in their little age, very young age, all the way up to elementary level, elementary school. The mind is still, you can still shape the mind to thinking in a certain way. Okay, so one thing, for example, uh, do not kill. Okay, so if you shape a little kid, a little baby, okay, into a mindset that killing is not a good thing to do, okay, then the mindset develop like that, and as the kid grows up, it's already set in their mind. Okay, it's become more solid, and they always automatically they think that killing is not good. Okay, uh, so for example, if you are born to a family who practice that, right, a Buddhist family who strictly practice the 5 precepts, they do not kill. Okay, they take care of everything, and I'm talking about even animals. Okay, we're not talking about only human being. Okay, do not kill in Buddhism um, applies to all living beings. Okay, um, animal, insects, butterflies, fish, whatever. Uh, do not kill. Okay, so it applies broadly. So let's say a kid is born into a family, okay, who, let's say, who go hunting for fun, okay, who go fishing for fun, okay, and so the parents teach them that it's okay to to catch the fish, to kill the fish, or to go out there, hunt down boar, hunt down deer, hunt down in birds or anything like that. Okay, so in that kind of environment, the the kids um, now has been trained that to accept that it's okay to to kill. Okay, um, first when the kid is small, it's okay to kill little things. Okay, but as the person grow older and older, now it's already set in the mind, it becomes normal. Okay, that killing is no big deal because it's normal. That's the way that they grow up in. Okay, so by taking others beings lives is not is for them it's a no-brainer. They don't even think about it, right? Because that's how it is. They've been brought up like that. They don't see what the problem is. Okay, so when you have, so that's why it's so important to develop in the proper way when the child is still small. Once they develop a certain way of thinking, it's really really difficult to undo what has been done. But fortunately for human, there are human beings who are able to undo themselves. That is a special thing about human beings. We can undo the things that have been done to us in the past. Okay, we can undo that. That is what we call intelligence. Okay, so imagine just that one thing. If you practice do not kill, just that, would a person like all right, in today's society you hear people get killed so often in the news. Okay, you see boyfriend kill girlfriend. Okay, you see people taking the gun and because they are having some kind of issue in their life, and they rather before they kill themselves, they go out to commit mass murder, right? To shoot a lot of people down. Okay, so these kind of things happens because they never come across a teaching about do not kill. Okay, about having compassion, right? Because you don't you when you kill some living being, whether you kill a fish, whether you kill a bird, whether you kill a deer, whatever you are, or a game that you think, like hunting down quails and stuff, all of those things. When you think it is fun to do, that's what happened, to people who cannot think otherwise. Okay, so for people who have issue, who never come across the teaching, they do not have what they do not get to understand what compassion is. It's the same thing for hunters. If people have compassion toward other living beings, they would not, lift their hands, grab their rifle or grab the arrows to shoot any other living being. It is because they do not think about it. Okay, there is no compassion within. Okay, what all they think about is having fun, right? Having fun. Okay, uh, because that's the way they are brought up. Okay, having fun for them is to take other beings' lives. So that is why it is very important to to propagate this teaching that taking others beings' life is never fun, right? Your life, our life, other beings' life, every living creatures on this planet, every single one of them, they all want to live just like us, right? Just like us. So, if a person come across the teaching to have compassion, okay, toward each other, to have compassion toward himself or herself, the person would not think, even think about, taking a gun to shoot somebody, right? Taking a gun to shoot, a classmate or co-workers or somebody in school or whatnot. Uh, if the person come across the teaching of having compassion. So this is one important thing, right, about do not kill. You cannot just tell people do not kill, but you have to show the teaching. You have to spread the lesson of compassion, right? So that's what the Buddha taught, compassion, right? Compassion toward oneself and toward others. And when you have compassion, there's no way that a person can harm others. So that's precept number one. Okay, so it's very important when you live in a society. Let's say if you live in if you live next door to a person who love to go around and killing and all that, I don't think you would feel comfortable. Okay, when something when let's say there's some kind of argument going on, I don't think you would feel comfortable, talking or doing things with the person, because the person don't have that concept of having compassion. All right. So, and on the flip side, if you happen to live in a community who practicing do not kill, you won't be afraid, right? You won't be afraid to walk around, you won't be afraid to go to work, you won't be afraid to go to school, because everyone is practicing do not kill, having compassion, right? But as we all know, unfortunately, these days in all the workplace right now, they have all kinds of uh, policy and procedures and whatnot, the security measure. They train people. If you hear this sound, pop pop pop, that's the sound of the gun. What is it that you need to do? If and in the school, if there's something, so they create a lockdown. And you see how this thing goes. The society is getting worse because there is no compassion anywhere. Okay, there's people without compassion cause a lot of fear in the community. Okay, and that's a fact. Okay, let's say you live in a community of 100 families, and out of 100 families, there is one person that you know he would do anything, whatever, whenever. How would you feel living in that community with just that one person living among you? You don't feel comfortable because you don't know when that person will come out to do unwholesome things. So that is very unfortunate, right? And that is precept number one. Just without compassion, do not kill is hard to understand for them. And so that's why for us Buddhists who practice the five precepts, do not kill is number one. Do not steal, number two. Of course, that we already know. If we don't want to lose our stuff, so we don't steal, right? Stealing, and of course, people work hard, okay, to earn the living. If we can just think about what others are going through, if we take things from others, okay, or we cheat, let's say we cheat each other, we do business, we cheating our customers, that's also stealing. That is also stealing. Or you cheat paying tax, that's also stealing. Okay, you cheat your obligation, okay, that is also stealing. Okay, so well, stealing, if you don't want somebody to let's say steal from you, then because you know how you feel if somebody cheat you out of your money, especially like in right now with the thing going on the internet, the AI is coming, right? More and more sophisticated scam is developing, and stealing is rampant. Okay, stealing is gonna get even worse. All right, people will hack into others people's uh, account, bank account, credit card account, whatnot. They are stealing in a big way. So there. Okay, so imagine the community living without obeying this precept. So is this precept a good precept to follow? You decide, right? But imagine if you are doing this, you follow this precept, but no, you do not cause harm to others. Okay, you steal from others because you have no compassion. Again, you don't really care. So, and it's hard to blame the person. The person must have gone through some kind of hard life, hard experience, or has been brought up in a certain environment that the mind is developed into doing the stealing, into doing the hacking. Instead of using their intelligence, instead of using their brain power in a good way, they rather go the other way to harm other people. And that is also because of their association with the wrong crowd, with the wrong people, with the wrong group, unfortunately. Okay, so that come from people without any compassion, without any remorse, without any care or whatnot. It's totally blinded by greed. Okay, so that's why greed in Buddhism, greed is one of the poison that cause suffering to the person himself or herself, and also to the society that the person in contact with. Do not lie. Number 3. Okay. Now, as we all know, lying is never good, right? But most of us, we lie anyway because we don't think it's a big deal. Small lie, right? A little here, a little there to cover up some of the things that we have done. Okay, until one day when we get caught, and then we'll try to cover up or say something else. And again, lie has come from a root of being, of course, ignorance, right? Has no understanding why they do that, because for most of the people, they think they, of course, the person who lie think of themselves as very smart, believe it or not. Okay, because they believe that whatever they do or say is not going to be discovered. All right, and as we all know, the truth cannot be hidden forever. Okay, and that's a fact. In Buddhism, there's a popular phrase to say there are 3 things that you cannot hide, right? The sun, the moon, and the truth. Okay, you can cover up a little bit. Okay, you can cover it up for a while, but eventually it will come out. Okay, and when it come out, it hurts all parties. Okay, so do not lie. Do not commit adultery. Okay, don't have to say much about that. If you are committed to a person already, okay, that is a no-no for us to go and have an affair with others. Okay, if you are single, you're still dating, that is a different story. Okay, but once you are a committed person, okay, because it creates suffering, as we all know it. If you decide to commit adultery, you should know ahead of time that your decision will lead to a breakup, to a heartache. That's a guarantee. Okay, do not even think that you will get away from the truth. It doesn't go that way. It will come out, and the person who commit the act will pay the price. And unfortunately, it's also the spouse and probably the kids if there are kids involved. So adultery leads to breakup, lead to suffering. So again, use the right judgment. Okay. And last but not least, precept number 5: do not use addictive substances such as drinking or drugs. And boy, oh boy, do I have to say anything about this. In today's society, drinking is a popular activity. Okay, telling people not to drink is like I don't know. I don't know what to say. Because it's one of those things. It's a huge industry in the world. Everyone, everywhere you turn around, there's drinking because that's how people relieve themselves from whatever that goes on inside their head. Okay, and drinking will for a lot of people will make them forget about, difficult things for a while. Drinking can bring their mental state to a certain level can be that can relieve them from their day-to-day thinking that they are enduring. Okay, um, it is unfortunate, but this is how the world is developing into. Also, drugs, right? Why do people do drugs? It's because they want to escape something, right? Or let's say somebody say, oh, they want to experience high or what not, okay? Um, or they want to experience some kind of uh, uh, happiness state or what, I'm not sure. But whatever it is that they're looking for, they don't have it, okay? They're not happy with with who they are, with the state they're in, with the way that the mind is thinking. So the mental state is not uh, pleasant. So in order for them to, they looking for some kind of happiness. So because of that, they go to do those kind of things. So again, it has to do with the state of mind, right? When the state of, let's say, if you are a perfectly happy person, okay, you have a good health, okay, you are healthy and you are happy, you are out and about, okay, you are helping each other, you helping other people around, okay, you are a good hearted full of person, okay, helping and always out and active. So with that kind of mind state, why would you need to get anything else? Why would you need to go get addicted addictive to drugs or to alcohol to get to what state, to get to a happier state? uh, it does not make sense. For people who do a lot of drinking, okay, get drunk a lot and do drugs, it's because they're not happy with themselves. That's unfortunate. So that's where Buddha's teaching come in to explain, to teach people about the mind, right? What the mind is doing. So those are the five precepts. All right. Just picture the person who practices the five precepts is a very nice person that to live with, right? It's a nice person to be his or her neighbor, right? It's and because you feel safe next to the person, you don't feel that you're gonna be cheated out of money or out of whatnot, you know, and it's just comfortable and nice. But on the other hand, if the other person, that person is doing some crazy stuff, you know, do all kinds of hunting, killing, and there's no compassion in the heart. Okay, would cheat anytime that he or she can, right? Would steal whenever he or she can. Okay, and would you feel comfortable living next to that person? You know, so that's the difference between the person who truly, genuinely practicing the five precepts and the person who never come across the teaching of the five precepts. So there is. That's what I like to share with you all today. The importance of the five precepts that we all should follow, right? Imagine a society practicing the five precepts. There would not be killing, there would not be fighting, there would not be suffering, there would not be war, because we don't kill, we don't cheat, we don't steal from each other. Then we can live in peace. See, that's what the five precepts can lead us to. All right, that is it. And as we all know, the five precepts is part of the Eightfold Noble Path that the Buddha laid out. Okay, the five precepts is embedded, they are embedded in the Eightfold Noble Path, the path that lead us all to liberation, that lead us all to realization, that lead us all to Nibbana. Until next time, I like to pay respect to the Triple Gems. I like to pay respect to the Buddha. I like to pay respect to the Dharma. And I like to pay respect to the Sangha. Namaste.